spit down the drain. In my ugly city, I try to barricade, but the sun breaks through the shade. In my ugly city, in my ugly city, in my ugly city, in my ugly city, I get to feel. Such a shame. The city looks so beautiful in there, but now it just looks gray. The brick was really stained with what I found in your name. Oh, but now it's all just being haunted. Not a good city, not a good city, not a good city. I never, it's not a good city. Ugly city, you're the easy way out. I never could, well in my ugly city, I never could, well in my We are New Moon. You are watching you're watching PSU TV. You're listening to KPSU. Thank you.
So tell me, how did you guys get together as a band?
So me and Dove here are twins, and we do this music program called School of Rock, and we were working on getting a music scholarship for that, and we needed another person to play guitar with us for a video for the scholarship, and we asked Jack to, and us and another kid formed a band, and about a year later, our then bassist graduated and went off to college, and so I was drums then, I hopped on bass, and we had Kyle on drums, and now that's how we got here.
Tell me, people listening, where can they find your music?
They can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, all the other places where you can stream music. And we have some YouTube videos. We are also at New Moon PDX on Instagram.
To find out about upcoming shows and album releases, where's the best place to go?
Definitely our Instagram. Definitely our Instagram is
the place to go
At New Moon PDX.
at New Moon PDX on Instagram.
Yeah, you don't want to be confused with the New Moon movie.
Exactly.
How did you guys come upon the band name?
Okay, well, this is so we were kind of going through various names. We didn't really know what to use. But then I was just like listening to a bunch of Elliott Smith at the time, and I was listening to the New Moon album, and I was like, that would be a cool band name. So I asked everyone, and they were like, yep. And we like, or at least some of us like Elliott Smith. So it works.
Well, speaking of Elliott Smith, what else have you been listening to lately?
Someone else.
Sure. I've been listening to a lot of Fuzz, some Prince Daddy, a little bit of John Coltrane in there, Gogs, all that stuff.
Coltrane and Gogs. That's quite a mix.
I've been listening to a lot of Ty Segall, a lot of Prince Daddy also, and a lot of, what was the band that I just found? Oh, Knocked Loose. Knocked Loose is super sick. Yeah.
Right. Well, recently I've just been really enjoying this Just Friends and Prince Daddy split EP that they made a while back. It's got some sick Weezer covers that I've been really digging, which, convenient segue, also been listening to some Weezer. Love that stuff.
Nice.
I've kind of been listening to some stuff that I got into like a long time ago, but just getting back to it, like just a lot of Pink Floyd and like Joyce Manor.
Do you remember what the first album you bought for yourself was?
I think was it the
Not a gift, but you actually bought yourself.
Right. We were in me and Doe were in San Francisco, and we bought a vinyl of Elliott Smith's EXO. Yeah.
Very nice vinyl. It's beautiful.
Wait, so this was a mutual first album?
Yeah. Well, it was the first like vinyl we ever bought, and I don't know if we've ever bought like a CD, like on our own.
Yeah, like on our own. I don't know, because
You
We're
don't
too
do
young.
like the pay for download thing either?
No, I mean we just kind of stream, I think.
yeah. I mean, that's yeah.
My first album that I ever bought was Nevermind by Nirvana at the CD Game Exchange in Gresham. And yeah, I usually just stream. I used to collect CDs, and I got like over 100, but now I've just stopped.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure what my first album I bought was. I'm pretty sure it was probably Dookie by Green Day. I think that was probably it.
It's a great album. All right, let's shift gears here. What song are you going to play next?
Next, we are going to play another song off of our new EP that just came out called Groucho.
Okay, let's hear it.
That's a song.
That's the song.
EP.
Not the EP. The song is Groucho.
Shoot.
Easy way out is all that you are now. All you talked about, such a play back in for nothing. I know that you want it never, but inside can't touch me. You touch me if I'm on the ground. take the bus seat. Me and you and me, so blue. Oh, but the easy way out is all that you wanna. It's such a shame. Life goes on the same, 'cause the music melodically written in vain. Oh, oh, whoa. She went out, it's all we ever get now. Oh, just over, it's all, it can't touch me if I'm on the blood. And I know that you don't get me, because that's not who you see. But will you ever know you're all I need? Oh, oh, whoa, whoa,
An oldie. Oh yeah, this is off of our first EP, Walking Out. It's called Song About Soap.
well, I can't sleep. Well, it's been a 3-4 days. So I overcome the meditation to everything that I've been on meditation. I go out and find a girl who will tell me I say nothing. Well, I found me all around me. Well, I'm not gonna let it tell me how to get automatic to the corner rotate. Well, he says a punch man. Well, there's a rum and the beef. Well, it's a young and be like, that's the same. So please don't call the police. Oh! He's not dead. I'm coming all around me. Well, I'm not gonna at it. And automatic to the corner road. Say, oh, I say I'm not dead. Well, I'm coming all around me. Well, I'm not gonna tell me how to get automatic to the corner road. this, so it's just keep on walking, I just keep on talking, I just keep on throwing my mind away. It's a fun day, and you're gonna give me a heart attack, so get off of my back and back up your back, but please don't tell me you're a slacker. You can't change me, no you won't save me, no you don't know nothing about me. It's a bummer. Just a bit on my police, just to sit there with me, just to stay with me. Something in a chemical chemical. You don't change me, no you can't change me, no you don't know nothing about me. It's a bummer. You see me on my police gate, just to stay there, wait me, it's as if they make me the choice. Give me content. You can't save me, no you don't save me, no you don't know nothing about me.
Way to rock out. Whoop. Nice catch. Well, since I'm looking at that nice gear you got on there, let's nerd out on gear a little bit. Although I'm going to flip over to your drummer because I know he's the most passionate about gear. Before we went on air, we were talking a little bit about how cymbals, I've heard another guy mention this before, and I believe it to be true, are kind of like a guitarist's pedals.
Yeah.
Elaborate for me.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's definitely true. I'm definitely a gear nerd, and I care a lot about my gear. And with the guitarist, I always like to nerd out and like take them to guitar shops and stuff, and just kind of like see what's out there. But like, especially with cymbals, I just kind of, it's cool to find your own sound and see what you like and what you don't like. And like, I think that's a big part of pedals is, you know, finding the sounds that you like and that kind of express the sound you have in your head. And so it's kind of the same deal with cymbals for me. So like, I just find the sounds I like, and it's cool to kind of have a setup that I really like the sound of, that I can express the music that I want to.
Tell me a little bit about what your setup is, and I understand you got a new cymbal.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm playing Zildjian A new beat hi-hats. I'm playing a Meinl Byzance dual crash. And then I'm playing a Zildjian Sweet Ride. And, yeah, they're great cymbals. I've worked a long time to get these and put in a lot of hours just to afford these. But it definitely pays off, and it's really cool to be playing on stuff that inspires you.
All right, Jack, tell me about what you're playing.
I'm playing this Fender Telecaster right now. I recently just got a Fender Jazzmaster Rosewood neck. Really enjoying that. A lot of fun, but the E string broke, and I didn't want to play this with a new E string and have it fall out of tune all the time. So, bringing out the Telly.
Tell me what you're playing.
All right, I've got this is an Epiphone Wildcat. I'm a big fan of Epiphone. I've also got a Fender Telecaster, but this is definitely my go-to for New Moon. And then I've got a sweet array of pedals that, like Kyle's cymbals, I find just like really help me express my sound. I'm a big fan of this like Blue Ocean delay pedal. A lot of people ask me about that. So if you want a sick delay pedal, Blue Ocean delay.
Okay. This is an Ibanez sound gear, and I don't have any pedals here with me. I'm looking to get like a compressor pedal and maybe a distortion pedal for some of the new, like just to add something new to some of the New Moon songs. But I don't know. I've never been like that much of a gear guy. Like, I don't know. I'd like to get more into it, but yeah.
Tell me about your songwriting process.
Our songwriting process is a little eclectic. It's kind of all over the place, but generally one of us will come up with like a chord progression or a riff, and we'll bring it in and be like, here it is, y'all, where do we go? And then we kind of just like build off of whatever small piece we've got, adding various things along the way, and then vocals and stuff.
Yeah, and I would say, like, because of how we write songs, like, because we all kind of write them together, there's a lot of, like, different influences going into different songs, because, I mean, a lot of time, like, Dove when he comes in with a chord progression, it's, like, oftentimes more, like, jazz-influenced chords, and Jack a lot of time brings a more pop punk sound, and so it just kind of, like, is a cool fusion.
Yeah, so Dove usually comes in with some jazz, and I like to be like, all right, that's cool, but let's speed it up, slap some distortion on it. Let's have a crazy amped up section. I picture what it would sound like in a house show and like what it would have the crowd doing, and that's kind of my motivation to make amped up jams.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's just kind of what they said. Usually Jack will come in with something more heavy, or Dove will come in with something pretty jazzy, and it's cool to see kind of like how over time we work it out where, you know, each person's like influence will rub off on each other's, and like we just come out with something that's kind of like a little bit jazzy with the chords, but it's still pretty amped up, like Jack said.
You mentioned about how you want to hear it sound at a house show. The house shows are kind of the bread and butter, if you will, for under ages, or all ages, I guess you could say, compared to the all ages venues in Portland, since, you know, there's only, one or two now? Tell me a little bit about kind of the challenges you guys face with that, or ways you feel like it actually helps.
Well, I mean, just like from a monetary standpoint, you can't really go into house shows looking to like get back like money or whatever. You just kind of got to go in with the mindset that like you're gonna have a real good time, and that's what you're getting out of it, which is like kind of a difference from a lot of traditional venues, but like it's kind of worth it because you get like a whole different crowd of people and stuff. So I mean, that's one trade-off that exists.
I really like playing at house shows just because it's definitely more of like a community than like some, I guess, venue shows that you play. You know, you see like a lot of the same people coming in, and everyone's just like about helping the music community, and it's really cool to like have people like able to, you know, book us at Vista House and stuff like that.
And I believe all, if not most of you, are under 21. Yes, no? All of you? Okay. I didn't want to assume. So trying to play any other venue than an all-ages venue, I can imagine, presents challenges.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about like high water mark?
Oh, yeah, there's like...
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, I have a story. I mean, it's pretty short, but one time, maybe like a year ago, last summer, we were playing a show at this venue bar called High Water Mark, and we just like, we played our set, and then we just had to like leave right away because we weren't allowed to stay there, but we could play there, and it was, I don't know. I mean, it was too bad, you know.
I mean, yeah, that's like a legal thing, and they got to do what they got to do, and it's cool that we can play in, you know, bars if we need to. But there are some like venues in Portland that are all ages that are really helpful to us, like Blackwater. We played a lot of shows at Blackwater, and that's a really cool place that you can just go and get some all ages music, and a lot of youth bands playing there. And yeah, obviously the house show has been super helpful to us, and like has really just been a good time for us, and kind of what we look forward to all the time now. Like we just always are wanting to play house shows, or because it's kind of a community of people that are just super supportive of like what we're doing, and it's cool to support other bands in Portland because there's a lot of stuff that you don't hear about, or like music that you wouldn't ever hear that you get to discover at house shows, which is just really cool.
How do you think as a band you're going to progress in the future? Like eventually after you become 21 can legally play in these bars. Is that going to be the plan, or do you still want to be connected with that house show scene?
I don't know. I kind of have this dream of opening up my own house venue, and it's getting a bunch of bands everywhere. So it's like a little like train stop. Like bands from all over just come in, play a show, and have a good time. All ages, of course. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess like since we're all kind of children, it's just like we don't really know what the future holds, but like I think we're just like all trying to like keep playing music in whatever way feels like it gives us the most joy. And like right now, I think like that's like playing house shows and stuff in a format like this. So I mean, I guess we'll see what happens.
I was trying to remember the name of the person who had that quote of whatever brings you joy. I don't know. I'll think of it later. Anyway, speaking of things that bring you joy, what song are you going to play next?
That would be tough. Nope, we just did that. California in the summer.
Oh,
We are
Alicia
playing
on some
California in
vocals.
the summertime with Alicia, our bassist, on vocals.
Nice. Let's hear it.
California in the summertime, staring up at the clear blue sky. It's hot as hell, but I'm putting on a smile. My heart is running wild, adrenaline rushing straight down my spine. But you know the calm down will be alright. I never wanna leave this California dream. So happy I could cry.
This song is called "Singer in My Head." It's another oldie. 2017.
I started listening to the singer in my head. If everybody understands and I don't get what you say. I started listening to the singer in my head. Down a crack road, I've been led away. Wanting to get it to better, but I'm that way. I'm standing, no one tell me it, just don't let me get, 'cause I ain't gonna get together. Wanting to get it to better, but I'm that way. I'm standing, no one tell me it, just don't let me get, 'cause I always wanna get together. I started questioning the singer in my head. Independence like dependency, but you're the one that you wanted. I started questioning the singer in my head. It says we bleed white, but I checked and I bleed red. Oh, we're wanting to get it to that too, but if I am standing, no one tell me it. Just don't get it, 'cause I wanna get together. Wanting to get it to that too, but if I am standing, no one tell me it. Just don't make me get, 'cause I wanna get together. Easy way out is all that you want now. And you don't care what I say, though I'm talking out loud. We're wanting to bring it to tattoo for the 5 a.m. coming. No one tell me you just don't get it, 'cause I wanna get together. Wanting to bring it to tattoo for the 5 a.m. coming. No one tell me you just don't get it, 'cause I wanna get together. Wanting to bring it to tattoo for the 5 a.m. coming. No one tell me what I don't get it, well I was on the get together. Wanting to bring it to tattoo for the 5 a.m. coming. No one tell me what I don't get it.
I broke my A string.
Nice.
Oh, but
No.
do we have time?
It'll be fine.
For it? Oh,
Nah.
yeah.
We're on the air.
So we'll have a little chat while you change your A string. All right. So tell me, do you remember the first concert you ever went to?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, my first concert was Rush, and I was 9 years old. And yeah, that was pretty awesome. My dad took me, and that was like right around I was just starting to play drums, and like I'd play guitar for a little bit. And so we went to Rush, and that was a really good time. It was really cool to be able to see them kind of like, I think it was 2011, and it was really cool to see Neil Peart in person, and it was definitely a really awesome first concert.
Rush fans have quite the reputation. What kind of impression did they make on you?
Honestly, I don't remember a ton from the concert, but it was pretty cool. It was I think the fans were pretty like, I don't even know. They were just pretty crazy, but it was pretty cool just to be able to be there and see Rush. And I was pretty small, and I remember I bought like an ice cream sandwich at the concession stand, and they were like, "Wow, you're the first person to buy that tonight," because like I was the youngest kid there.
Yeah, Rush fans are quite the devoted, loyal crowd. Rush is awesome, by the way. Not saying anything negative. I wouldn't dare. Your first concert, Jack?
Yeah. So my first concert was when I was in the 5th grade. I went up to Tacoma with my dad and saw Van Halen, and Kool and the Gang opened, which was interesting, but I was digging it. Yeah, it's a really cool show. It was actually with David Lee Roth. They only played like 3 shows and they broke up again. Typical.
I imagine you're still a Van Halen fan, though.
I don't really listen to that much classic rock anymore, but I respect it. I respect it.
Fair.
This isn't as cool as the other two. 'Cause I think my first concert that I remember going to, so I did the Starlight Parade, and me and Dove both, and we won some tickets in like the costume contest of the Starlight Parade to see Kelly Clarkson.
Okay, back up. What was your costume?
I think weren't we Alvin and the Chipmunks? I think we no okay, this was okay. Honestly our costume wasn't very good, but the year before we had a good costume. We us two and another friend were Alvin and the Chipmunks, and that was pretty good. Our costume that one was like, I don't know. We just wore our soccer uniforms and said we were like a soccer team or something, and we got tickets. I don't know why, but honestly I was young and I didn't like know a lot of like, I hadn't really gotten into like music on my own at that point, so it was honestly like pretty cool just seeing like a big concert, even if it like was like a, not like something that I was like that like into, Yeah.
So it didn't make you a devoted Kelly Clarkson fan?
Honestly, for a little bit, I was pretty into her. But yeah, no, it didn't last. No.
Yeah, live concerts can have that impression, though.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Do you remember the last show that you actually paid to go see?
I think. I went to Treefort in Boise recently,
Ooh,
that festival,
nice.
and I remember seeing this band they were a Portland band, actually. They're called the Reptalians. And
Shout out Reptalians.
Yeah, yeah. They were so fun. The people up there in like the weird alien costumes and stuff. I don't know. I really liked it, and the music was all spacey and like dancey. It's really fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good people.
Do I get to answer this question?
Of course.
Yay. Okay, so recently I went with Jack over here. We went to a house called the Aquarium, and I saw this band called Laundry, and they rocked, and I've not been able to stop
And
listening to them since.
I used to have a class with one of their guitarists when I was a freshman.
Hell yeah.
It's true.
Last live show I went to was, I think, that Aquarium show that Dove's talking about. But as far as like venue show, it was probably Joyce Manor was that at the Wonder Ballroom in November, I think.
Wonder's cool.
Yeah, I think Joyce Manor might have been my last like venue show. I think was Prince Daddy before or after that. I think Joyce Manor at Wonder Ballroom. They were with Peach Kelly Pop and Wunderbar, and that was really cool. They were all really good, and that was a really fun show.
Do you feel like shows are a little different now that you're performing musicians? Do you look at them differently?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's cool to see, like, as a musician, like, going to shows and you see, like, things that musicians will do or, like, certain stops that they'll pull in their songs or, like, the little things that they do in their songs where, as a musician, you're like, whoa, how'd they do that? But, like, maybe when you're just listening to it and you don't know how to play an instrument, you're kind of just like, oh, that sounded cool. But, like, it's really fun to go watch other bands and just see what they do and kind of, like, see how their live shows go and kind of all the little quirks that they put into their music, because that's kind of, live shows are really different from recording for sure, and it's just fun to see a lot of bands and like how they approach live shows.
Did you want to weigh in on that? All right, we got the A string strung.
We sure do. Let's hope it stays in tune at all.
All right. What song are you going to play next?
Is this this is our last song?
Okay.
Yeah, Short Shorts. Oh yeah. So
well, since you mentioned the title of it, that is the title of your new EP, right?
Yeah. So we just put out an EP on April 20th called Short Shorts, and we're very proud of it. We've spent the last year or so fleshing out this music. So we're very proud of it, and if other people would like to go listen to it, we highly recommend you do that.
How do you think this album compares to your previous one?
I think it's kind of miles ahead. honestly, in many ways.
Actually,
I mean, the songwriting is just a lot more like full. There's a lot more there. We're all better musicians, I would say. We've got a new lineup with Kyle Kraft on drums and Alicia on bass, both of them shred. And anyone else wanna say something?
I mean, we knew a bit more what we were doing production-wise, which has helped, I would say. Just, yeah, like, we knew a bit more what we were going into in terms of production, which, so it just sounds a little bit more professional, I guess.
In our first EP, we recorded 5 songs in one session, and we weren't there during like the mixing process or anything. So it was really cool to be able to have 2 days in the studio, like 8 to 9 hour sessions, and be there for like some of the mixing and all that stuff.
And also, like on the new EP Short Shorts, we worked with Summer Cannibals, and they were the band to record us in their new studio. And it was really cool just working with them because it felt like really comfortable and just like we all just had a good time. We got to choose from their pedals and like geek out about that. And they just had such a cool setup and were so like awesome to us. And they're just super nice people. And so we had a really good time recording this. And I think that kind of shows in the music where it's just like we were comfortable playing and we were just having fun at the time. So I think that also is a big part of it. And again, like the production I think is huge. From coming from like the first EP, it's definitely like, I mean, the songs are good, I think, but like the production is not there. And so it was cool on the new EP just to like be able to have more of a say in the production and kind of what we wanted. And so Summer Cannibals were super good about working with us and kind of like seeing the same idea as we had. So it was a really good project.
What studio were you using to record?
So is it Lemon something?
No, it's Def.
No, that's but we recorded Summer Cannibals actually built their own studio in their like basement kind of thing, and it's really big, and they actually just recorded their entire like new album that's about to come out in that same studio, and they home recorded the whole thing. And so it was cool to kind of go through a similar process to what they're doing with their album. But yeah, we just did it all in their house, and like they had such a cool setup. They had like a recording booth and they had really nice gear for everything. And so it was just a really like good experience.
Big shout out Summer Cannibals. You guys are cool. Very cool. All right, so let's hear that title track off the latest EP.
We're gonna do it.
All right. Yeah, go follow us at New Moon PDX on Instagram. Well, Dove tunes his A string that he just put on the guitar. Yeah. Yep. Groovy, as Jack just said.
She left envelops all I can see as I sink into the user crowd of land. Oh, well, I sink into my shoulder till the paper winter cold takes my comforter and kiss me. Oh, well, sink into my shoulder till the paper winter cold takes my comforter and kiss me. Leaves the time next year, it's you. Denying what I'm thinking, it's true. I couldn't go on without you. And I know the same can be said for you too. Can't give away, there's nothing to say. Getting in the way, there's nothing to do. Thank you.
We are New Moon, and this is KPSU Radio and PSU TV. Thank you.